Good everyone, we go once more. Did you think we were done? We're only at round 2 of this 15-round season in IRL PCF1, sponsored by GT Omega and in partnership with gridfinder.com and Driver61. We're heading down under and turning another page in this championship, where the heat is already turned up to extreme, something that the locals are quite familiar with record high temperatures here reaching over 50 degrees and record lows being -23. Australia is home to the longest highway in the world, the Highway 1 network, which circumnavigates the whole country and connects the spread out cities together with over 9,000 miles of tarmac. Well, our home for the next hour and a half though focuses on a very specific 5.3 kilometres of tarmac known as the Albert Park Circuit in the heart of Melbourne, a track that's made of 16 corners and 3 DRS zones guaranteed to keep the teams and drivers focused at every bend. Now, I may be far from home in game, but I'm joined by Cameron for another night of racing action that, with the extreme heat and risk of spiders aside, does make me feel just a little bit more at home.
Yes, good evening everyone, good evening Fozzy. It feels good to be back for another week here at Invictus Racing League PCF1 in Season 13. If the spicy season opener in Sao Paulo is anything to go by, well, we're in for a treat tonight in Albert Park. A track that is certainly no walk in the park to master, so do not go anywhere for the next 90 minutes. The first round of the season showcased the almighty talent of the grid, but also gave us our first championship leader and a hint at the drama that can unfold throughout the season, especially when you throw weather into the mix like last time in Sao Paulo. So if we talk about last week's race, we can easily show you the driver standings, in fact, because it being in the first round, it makes it easy on the maps, doesn't it? Cameron took the first win of the season in Brazil. He started on pole and finished on pole, but it was certainly no easy race for him, with him battling with Merckx the entirety of the time. But with Merckx unfortunately suffering a spin when the weather got a little bit tough and tricky, and was unable to tame the W12 in which he was controlling. But it led to a safety car and a couple lap shootout that we enjoyed in the commentary box. Maybe not for the drivers, but it was fun behind the mic, wasn't it, Fozzy? Another round, Australia this time. Quite a different track. Looking forward to it.
Yes, if anything, like for last week's anything to go by, it's going to be a storm. Well, hopefully not in the rain sense. I think we had enough rain in Brazil. It caught, like you say, a lot of people off guard. Australia home to the sun, so hopefully we're going to be dry throughout quali and the race. But yes, I cannot wait to get going. It's only round 2 and I'm already pumped. Already can't wait until we get right to the end of the season to see how things are gonna pan out. But it's gonna be a good one tonight. Let's focus on this round 2. Well, like you say, lots of drivers already looking pretty strong. Some, like you say, not off to the best of starts. Maybe not through driver skill, maybe just through a lack of practice maybe. But yes, Cameron qualified first, finished first last week. That's how you want to be doing. Is anybody going to be doing that tonight? Well, we'll just have to wait and see what pans out over the next 20 minutes for qualifying and over the next however long it may be for the race. Safety cars, of course, might extend the amount of time it takes. Of course, we've got the new safety car, thanks for the update. Came out this week for the game as well. The new Aston Martin safety car and a little bit of car performance as well has been tweaked. But hopefully, that's not going to impact things too much tonight.
Yeah, talking of all things new, with the new patch, new safety car, we also got a new driver. Kickerlin fills the empty Aston Martin seat. The driver from Croatia will be hoping to prove himself this evening. There are a few drivers that might not be present this evening. I'm sure Fozzy will let you know shortly. And but we are looking forward to a fairly full grid this evening. And wow, we had 19 drivers last time. We had absolute chaos and an enjoying race to watch. So what we'll get with 20 drivers, or maybe even a few less, you never know. But from the first season opener, you do get the taste of where the championship battle's at. Cameron and Merckx, for example, they seem to be locked together, even from race 1. In fact, last season, I always keep saying last season, in season 12 of PCF1, it was Merckx who actually won here in Australia, with Cameron joining on the podium in 3rd place. So both drivers have experience and are used to this track. So I think we're in for an almighty battle tonight, Fozzy. And well, I can't wait. But also, just a quick reminder, this is only round 2 of a 15-round calendar. We've got France coming up next on the 22nd of September. And then Canada, Britain, Austria, Belgium, and then Russia as well, and a few other tracks obviously on the second half. But it's a full action-packed calendar with only a week break after Belgium, I believe. So we're in for a bit of a fun season, and we hope you can join us wherever you are throughout the entire time. Let's have a look at chat. We seem to have the Maya fan club, don't we, Fozzy? There's quite a few supporters in chat, and Wow, he seems to be a popular one.
He does seem to be popular indeed, and I can see the drivers on my screen readying up. I think we're about to get underway with round 2. I cannot wait. We're going to, like we say, jump into a short 18-minute qualifying session. And the initial lap times we get there may not be the most important because people will be getting used to the track, and if it's rain, then it's certainly going to make them redundant if it gets dry towards the end of the season. But yeah, going to be heading into the game now for a bit of short qualifying around the Albert Park track. Like I say, it is 16 corners with 10 to the left and 6 to the right. I can't wait to get going, Cameron.
Yeah, it's a tricky track as well, isn't it? Just think of turn 11 and 12. I've ran into many issues and many walls in my time around that circuit, so I wonder if anyone's going to join me in that experience there. It's not the exact experience you want, but it's it's all I've got around here. And there are quite a few overtaking opportunities as well when we think about the race, but it is still a little bit more difficult. Although the walls aren't too close to you, there are a lot of gravel traps and grass and things like that that are able to catch you out if you're not paying attention or you put a wheel slightly off circuit. Of course, with the new game, the curbs as well. The curbs are my worst enemy. I'm just absolutely terrible when it comes to the curves. We have a hate-hate relationship, I feel. But let's see if any drivers find themselves at wars with the curbs tonight. I've done my research though this time, and in Invictus Racing League PlayStation F1, the pole time was a 1:20.734. Now, last week we were basically on match with the PlayStation F1 guys and girls, so I wonder if we'll be around that time again in the race, obviously a couple seconds slower. But let's see who will be climbing to the top of the quali tower, because half the battle is qualifying well around here, isn't it, Fozzy? Who you got your eye on already? I know the cars haven't exited the pits yet, but who you think is going to do well around here?
Well, we've only one race to go, and I'm going to have a look at Kangaskhan and Merck to see how they can do. Already seeing some of the guys come out of the track, but it's dry, so it looks like I won't need a jacket today as we get going in this qualifying session. We already see some cars coming out on the track. No. So Owen already out in the Haas, going out on his outlap on the medium tyres, so maybe that might just be for a reconnaissance lap. I imagine we'll see everybody putting a couple of laps in on the soft tyres as we get further into the session. So some drivers maybe just wanting to get out and, like I say, get used to the track a little bit. We have the Aston Martin of Kirkland out already. First appearance for him this season, and we're glad to have him with us, joining us throughout the remainder races this season. Now, I would say, is there anybody else going out on softs? Yes, we have DeLange in the Williams. He's going out on softs. I see more drivers slowly coming out as well. Owen's teammate Mansu as well, out on there on softs. So it's a bit of a mixture. Maybe those going on the softs will be looking to get straight into a flying lap at the end of this, and they're going to try and make it count as well. Maybe there's people like Owen and Kirkland who are going to be trying just to finish these reconnaissance laps, maybe put a flying lap in, but save most of their pace for later in the session, Cameron.
Yeah, save them for later, but following PlayStation, a lot of the drivers did similar to what happened in Brazil. They go out on the mediums, get a run in on them, and then switch to the softs to really put in those competitive lap times. Because when drivers around you start getting that soft tyre advantage, even in qualifying, it does require you to consider switching in the garages. And we already have a yellow flag. That's just cars slowing down. No need to worry here. But slowing down, one of the Haas drivers won't be shortly, Fozzy, as Owen rounds the final corner. Slight different line he takes there. But just take us on a lap around Albert Park.
Yep, so let's ride on board with Owen then. It's a long DRS straight down here, and he should have that DRS open. Yes, he does, as he head down towards turn 1. It's a quick chicane through turns 1 and 2, and straight away, as you leave one DRS zone, you find yourself at another, as we have a couple of yellow flags. Again, as Cameron said, that's just drivers waiting to slow down and let other people by. But it's the right-hander of turn 3 through the sports centre. This, when it's not an F1 weekend, is actually a bit of a car park. Right now, though, it's a total opposite of that, as we already have a retiree. Kirk Erlin has retired already. Maybe he's hit the barrier. We'll hopefully catch up with that shortly. But, well, as soon as this is the first flying lap, it is a purple sector 1 for Owen. Don't forget, though, he's on the medium tyres. We've got about 7 or 8 people on the mediums at the moment. I imagine, like I say, they'll be switching to the softs later. And it looked like Owen's going a little bit slow round turn 9 then, but I think he has picked up the pace. I might have just thought he was going slower than what he actually was on the onboard camera. Now it's a really tricky 11 and 12 complex. We might see drivers spinning here in the race, but Owen manages to get through in one piece. And we're now onto a third DRS zone of the lap as we head down at quite some speed towards turn 13. The right-hander of Ascari as we get to a tight complex now at the end of sector 3. The right-hander of 14, known as Stewart. And just like that, you're at the end of the lap. He managed to hit the apex on this one, unlike his outlap. And he's going to go steady on the power around turn 16 and then try and straight line it as quickly as you can to carry that speed all the way down. It's going to be the first time lap of the session, and it was a 1:24, but he was beaten by Mansu, his teammate, just behind on the softs, who gets a 1:22.1, the first representative lap time on the softs, Cameron, of his session so far.
Quite a big difference in lap times there. Mansu might be getting a tow, but that won't make 2.6 seconds, even with the tyres. See Marcus there, 1.4 seconds off on the fastest lap from Mansu, 95. So Owen really probably feels he needs to step up on pace here compared to his teammate. And yes, it's going to be, and he's around. Mansu is around there in turn 8. Lauda, his teammate passes him. He might have been faster over one lap, but he is the first Haas driver this session out of his teammate. 2 minute in a wall, but manages to get going again, and he will make it back to the pits. That's a scary close call for the driver, though. We also
have Liam Markham who's out of a session. It looks like he's had a bit of an incident down at turn 2. That's via chicane at the end of the first DRS straight in Brabham. He's the second driver already to have DNF'd out of this session. Didn't quite catch what happened to him. Maybe he's gone into the barrier and just caught a little bit of curb, or maybe even the grass at turn 1, going in a little bit too deep and missing his braking zone. Again, a few more yellow flags, but these are just people moving out of the way. But yeah, so Kangaskhan, as I said, I did have my eye on him, and he is out there into the 1:21. The first driver to do so on the soft tyre. It's a 1:21.8 at the moment, and that is the provisional pole time. But like we say, we got just under 13 minutes to go, so I imagine we might see some more competition and even some more drivers heading into the 1:21s, maybe even the low 1:21s as we get going. And a bit of team radio from Liam. He says the exit curb on turn 1 span him into the wall, and that is quite a tricky curb. But you mentioned earlier, Cameron, that the curbs are quite tricky in this game. Do you think we'll get through this qualifying session without anybody else retiring? Do you expect that maybe at that turn 11-12 complex we may see some people getting a bit too much curb? What are your predictions for this one?
It's going to bite you, that's one thing for sure. Now the thing is with qualifying, it's not like the race where you can kind of let off at certain points to preserve tyres and to preserve the car. Qualifying, you're gunning for that one flying lap many of the time, so you are pushing it, and it's knowing whether you're right on the edge, right on the limit of the car over the curbs. And some drivers just push that limit a little bit too much, and Albert Park is a circuit that does indeed bite back, and it's on top of you here. The circuit is certainly in control rather than the driver when it comes to that. You just have to hope you don't hit the wall anytime soon, Fozzy.
Yeah, really good start for the Alpine drivers. P1 and 2, Nico and Undertaker respectively at the moment. Nico with a 1:21.2 and his teammate Undertaker with a 1:21.3. So I said we'd most likely be looking at the low 1:21s. And we've got it straight away with over 10 minutes to go. So I expect we'll see some more in that time. Maybe even getting into the 1:20s as well. So it should be, a lot of competition up at the top end of the grid. Still a few drivers on the mediums, but I imagine most will be going to the soft. Some of those drivers that were on the mediums earlier have already made that transition. Mysterious in the Aston Martin looks to be on a flying lap. On the medium tyres at the moment, though, as he heads down towards turn 3. He's got a Mercedes behind him of Zik, who is yet to set a representative lap time, and a few more yellow flags over at the exit of turn 12. I looked like a McLaren, but I think it might just be slowing down to let people by. Yes, that is Jos Heinze just going a little bit slow to let the Red Bull by. But yeah, Mysterious, who was, where is he? He's P5 at the moment, which is quite good on the medium tyres, considering there's quite a few drivers on the softs below him. P5 is quite a nice time at the moment, and it does look like he's potentially backed out of this lap. At least he's significantly short shifting. So yeah, it does look like Mysterious has backed out of that lap time. Cameron?
Really good lap from Jos a little while ago now, 1:22.057 on the soft tyres. A couple of laps on those tyres now, and there's a McLaren. Can't really say double stack, but both McLarens going to the pits at once. That's going to take forever, isn't it? Especially with the AI sort of garage people, mechanics, they do take their time here. But Delange 93 is certainly trying to take no time around Albert Park as he finishes off the first DRS zone on the exit of turn 3, heading into the sports centre. As you said, a car park when F1 is not in town. Hopefully it won't be a car park today when F1 is in town, albeit virtually. So we head down to turn 6 and 7. It is a purple sector 1. So here we go. This is going to be Delange 93 trying to aim for the top of the tower here. As around he goes, he's got a hat in front of him. Hopefully won't cause too much of an issue for the driver. Out of Fittipaldi through Lakeside Drive as you head down to the infamous turn 11 and 12. How much curb does he risk to take? Will it bike back or will he be sensational through here? He looks to the right, does a slight corner cut, it's fine, it's legal, he's all okay, and he will have a slight toe as well as DRS from Mansu. He gets out of the way, good driving from the Haas driver, turn it in, nice easy right turn. Third gear, then fourth. Green flags now as Mansu just caused a bit of a blip there. But as we round the final slow left-hander, as you head on to the right, you've got to be careful. You want to take as much of the curb on the right. There we go. Turn the car in. Easy on the power. Straight to the line now. It is further along this year's game. Across the line. Where does he go? He goes P3, the 1:21.666. 4 and a bit tenths off pole. But a very good lap for the Williams driver there, Fozzy.
Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. I was riding on board a little bit with Excel Merckx earlier, who was going for a lap on the soft tyres. He had to set a lap time, then had it disqualified due to track limits, so he still hasn't managed to get a lap time in, although he has just set a purple sector 2 as the Alpine conveniently gets out of the way and sends Merckx a little bit wide onto the curves. That could have been dangerous, both in terms of track limits and sending your car into the wall, but he's only got a few more corners to go now. As I said earlier, it's a few tight corners of a sector 3. We approach down towards centre, turn 15, the slowest corner on the track, and then we're going to carry that speed all the way down that main straight, kiss a little bit of curb on the exit and the entry, and like you said, Cameron, it's a long way down to the line, so you're waiting and waiting just for it to come up to, and look at that, he takes it into the 120s comfortably, a 1:20.592. That's what we were expecting, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's quicker than pole in PSF1, so you know that's fast. Let's have a look at the little replay there of that moment though, as we'll just bring you on board with Excel Merckx as we head through turn 10. As you see there, just the car on the right was just on the pit exit and just had to get out of the way, and it kind of distracted Merckx a little bit, especially as he took a little bit of curb, had to quickly nip the car to the left and the right, correct the oversteer, but managed to keep it going and set a very quick lap time there of a 1:25.92. And Nico is quite close, isn't he? He's a fair few tenths off, but he's kind of been the standout here, Nico. He's qualified really well. I mean, he qualified third last time. He's done one better so far, provisionally. Will he have the chance now to go for pole position? I don't think Merckx is safe. As we say there, Nico setting a fastest purple sector 2. Head through, a bit cleaner than Merckx. And he's also got, again, a bit of a slipstream off the Mercedes driver. And the track does look a bit strange there. I'm not too sure what's going on, but nevertheless, we continue on. Nico, the Mercedes, gets out of the way. It's Renault Power going to take us to the line around turn 16. Prost, nice use of the curb and the exit curb there, all the way down to the line. What's it going to be? He goes across and it's a 1:29.22. Unable to beat Merckx, but gets ever closer with 6 minutes and 15 minutes remaining of this qualifying session here at Invictus Racing League for the Australian Grand Prix, sponsored by GTO Mega and Grid Finder, as well as in partnership with Driver 61. Fozzy, great lap.
Yeah, it's tight at the top, isn't it? Something which I think we're going to see continue throughout the rest of this season and throughout the race as well. I mean, there might be some tight battling throughout this. Australia, it's a 50-50 track to overtake on. Some drivers really like it, some drivers find it a little bit difficult, but with that long DRS straight across the main finish straight and a DRS straight throughout the track, it is there's quite a lot of potential to try and get overtakes done. So it's a little bit of a lull now, quite a few people in the pits and a few people either on in or out laps. I'm surprised though we still haven't seen J. Cole go onto the soft tyres, Cameron. He's got a fairly good lap time on the mediums at the moment. He's P6 with a 1:21.8 in the Ferrari. It doesn't look like he's on an out lap or an in lap or anything. So would you think there's any strategy in getting your lap in on the medium here? And what would that strategy be?
Well, certainly, if he's qualified 6th on the medium tyre, and you look at those runners that are on soft tyres, and they're not necessarily beating him, then 6th place
out.
Is a good
just to
place to
interrupt
be.
there, looks like
but
Meyer in the Red
out.
Bulls had an issue at the end of sector 1, just out of turn 5. Looks like he's gone into the wall and caused a bit of a bit of an issue there, so that's not going to be the best for him. So I did cut you off there, I'll let you continue.
That's alright, it's a shame for Myers. Fan club's going to be a little bit disappointed. MJQ, though, setting a purple sector 2. He's slightly off, I believe. Slight lock-up there into Senna, turn 15, but around the corner, turn 16. Wider there than any other driver I've seen so far. To the line, hug that left-hand side, and that promotes him to P11 on the fringes of starting within the points. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. He had really good potential, seeing that purple sector 2. I don't know what it was in sector 1, but it looked lightning fast, and I think he's going to be a little bit miffed off himself. His teammate P8, Jos Heinze, with a 1:22.057, so Ku is just about 3/10 off his teammate. But Mysteria 667 currently in P9, now P10, as Zeke promotes himself to P8, 1:21.962 on the softs. We are now seeing those soft runners come in and showcase their speed, Fozzy, although the top lot seem to be in the pit, so hopefully they'll get out soon because they've got to beat the clock, haven't they?
They do indeed. It's the McLarens that seem to be running a little bit out of sync for everybody. We've got Jos Heinze on an outlap at the moment. He's going to look to try and set another faster lap to get him out of P10, which is where he currently resides. MJ Coop is, I think he's on a flying lap, but he has got 2-lap-old softs, so we'll see if he can get any form of improvement from P12. He's currently got a 1:22.3. Mystarius in P11 has got a 1:22 dead, so a couple of attempts to find there if he wants to find himself moving up a position. I believe we've got a few drivers out on outlaps as well now, apologies. We've got Bashi, Owen, Jos and Mansu all on outlaps, so we'll keep eyes on them as they go round for their flying laps. But yeah, that was quite a nice lap by Zik, wasn't it? To get him up into P9, the top end of the grid. He was lying low a little bit at the bottom there. I think he might have had some traffic issues or a few issues earlier in the session. I haven't managed to get a super quick time in, but hopefully he'll be quite happy with P9. Last time around he qualified P18, so P9 is quite the improvement as he goes into the pits, maybe to change those tyres as they are a hot lap and a bit older now.
Yeah, and Zik as well. He said qualified P18 last time. He finished in 12th, so he's one driver that seems to go forward from where he starts on the grid. So that can only mean good things. If you're starting 9th, going to be potentially some really strong points on the cards here. Marcus in the Alfa Romeo. P4 enters the pits as well. Looked like to go on a fast lap and then aborted it. He's going to be lucky to get out in time though. By the time we get wheel back in, that could be it for the Alfa Romeo driver, but this could be potentially a couple more laps for Owen. Owen is vibing. He's driving now the 24 car, the Haas, going around the car park area. Got to be careful of that curb as well. You become like a skater if you get your car launched up on it, and that's something you do not want to be doing, especially in qualifying, let alone the race. As we go through now, heading through turn 8, Lauda, down to a heavy braking zone. See changed now for real life, but not in the game, through Clark. And then this is a good section that had a slight bit of oversteer, corrected that on exit though of Fittipaldi. What's it going to be? What's the entry like here? It sets you up for the exit. Wait, slightly further to the right, takes that nibble on the corner, and he seems to be fine through safe, and he carried a lot of speed through as well, Fozzy, so that's going to be really good. What's he going to do now, heading into Ascari, turn 13, take a little bit more of the corner. There is a yellow flag, it's just cars slowing down, a couple of cars tripping over themselves potentially. Again, nibbling on the curb once more. He's at a feast for all these exit curbs. Oh, very slow though there, and it looks like he has aborted his lap, definitely. Don't know what's happened there, but Owen, you've aborted your lap, and you're probably not going to get out of the pits in time, so that will be your running most likely for the Haas driver. His teammate up in 6th, Owen down in 14th. Fozzy.
His teammate up in 6th, just about to finish a flying lap as well. It's looked good. Whether it's going to be improvement from a P6, let's have a look. It is, by 1 to P5. Mansu gets a 1:21.4 on those soft tyres and takes quite a bit of grass on the start of his in-lap there, which was quite exciting. Yeah, a lot of drivers now finishing their time in the pits and coming out for their final flying laps as well. We haven't got all too much longer to go in this qualifying session, just 27 seconds remaining. Is everybody going to make it to the line? Those are on outlaps. Well, Zik's on an outlap, and he's only just going up to turn 13 now. Is he going to get to the line? Well, it's going to be tight, especially for the McLaren of Jos Heinze, who I really don't think is going to make it to the end of this outlap in time. He's only got 10 seconds. He's only just got up to turn 14 now.
Yeah, Merckx is going to be very lucky to get across the line in time. The clock ticks down, but he manages just to start his flying lap with just over a second to go. But it's Nico and Merckx, the battle, the shootout between the two drivers on their final flying laps of this qualifying session. Who's going to be on pole? Provisionally it's Merckx, but who will it be after the end of this lap around Albert Park in Melbourne? Nico around through sector 1. No, I believe not much of an improvement. We'll have to wait and see though. Merckx, what's he going to be? He's up a 10th on his time, so he is improving. Nico, he's going to feel the pressure now. He's already needs to gain time, and Merckx looks to be already flying around. Merckx is further back than Nico on track. He's just heading down towards turn 11 and 12, whereas Nico is through turn 12, heading down the final DRS zone on this lap, the one that counts anyway, and it looks like MJQ has retired for the session. Will that impede Merckx? He does not. Merckx, I believe, sets a purple sector. They're quickly taken away by someone else, though. Nico, P2, still 120.922 is the time he has, but it's a 5.92 he needs to beat. Going around the final corner, straight to the line. Go on, Nico. What's it going to be? As he crosses the line, it is a 127.55. It's an improvement, but will not be enough. It looks to be set already. Merckx will line up on pole position for a 50% race around Australia. Merckx, one hell of a lap there, a 125, Fozzy.
Yeah, absolutely stonking lap. That was fantastic by Merckx. Merckx takes pole. He'll be happy with that after starting P4 in Brazil last time around. Standout for me, Mastaras, who started on the front row in Brazil, is starting 14th this time around. Maybe he just couldn't get that flying lap in. Hopefully, though, he'll be able to make some moves throughout the race and get a bit of overtaking done. As I've said, Australia, yes, there is room to overtake on this one, so I imagine we will see quite a few moves down these DRS straights and into the throughout the race, Cameron.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Also, yeah, Mastari starting on mediums, P11. Obviously, that doesn't matter. He can start on whatever tyres he wants, so he might start on a fresh, clean set of softs. But all the top 10 runners eventually switching over to the red-walled soft tyre there. And quite a gap, you'd have to say, between the top 10. 1.5 seconds there covers the top 10. And I believe it is a, wow, what is it in total, Fozzy? It looks to be quite a gap between the whole grid. But Merckx and Nico, that's going to be the battle there. I was expecting Kangakon to be slightly up there, but he's finished on the podium last season in Australia, so he could do it again. And as Fozzy says in chat, who are you thinking is going to gun for the win and ultimately take victory in Albert Park? And we won't be doing any post-driver interviews today, but hopefully it will be something we plan to do in the future, like last season in PCF2.
Yes, definitely. So here we go for the race. It's looking dry so far, and I can see that Aston Martin safety car perched at the end of the pit lane, ready to pounce whenever it is required. Safety cars are quite common around here. 60% chance historically of a safety car around the Albert Park circuit. So who knows whether that's going to be making an appearance today, and who knows whether it's going to stay dry throughout the session as well. We thought it was all clear skies in Brazil until we got to the final 5 laps when the heavens opened and the rain came down. The same might just happen here, and we might see an appearance from the intermediate or even the wet tyres too. So here we go, and we're about to get underway for the formation lap. A very important part of the build-up to a race. You want to make sure that your tyres are in the right window, your temperatures are in the right window for your tyres, and as well for your brakes. Got to make sure that they're in the right window, like I say, because if they're not, you might be facing a few issues as you head down towards turn 1. You don't want to be hitting other cars because, well, it will probably get you a penalty, and it might also take you out of the race, damaging your own title ambitions, Cameron.
Title ambitions this early on? You know it's a season here, don't you? Invictus Racing League. 15 rounds, already 2 in. The drivers begin their formation lap. So starting on pole is XL Merckx. He won the race last time. What can he do this time? Who knows? We'll have to find out after 29 laps.
Yep, and it's Nico who starts P2. He was just under 3/10 off Merckx, so he's got the pace, but can he carry that through the race?
And Undertaker, the other Alpine, starts behind his teammate, P3 on the second row. What can he do? Does he able to take another podium, or will someone else nip it off him?
Kangakon started pole last time, won the race from pole last time. Is he going to make any improvement on his position of P4? We'll have to wait and see.
Marcus, P5, a very strong qualifying for the Alfa Romeo driver. Now he's going to find some challenges for the drivers behind, but he has a flighting chance, like all the drivers here, to take the W.
Mansu started 7th, finished 7th last time. Will he start 6th and finish 6th this time?
Who knows? Delange 93, he had a pretty good qualifying lap early on. Unfortunately, his pace was not enough. What can his race pace be? Will it be any better, or will he find himself struggling towards the back of the grid?
Jacob made 4 positions last time. If he makes 4 this time, he'll be very close to the podium. Make a few more and he'll be on the podium. Something I'm pretty sure the driver would love to see. Scarlet red on the Ferrari on the podium. Yeah, that would be quite nice.
And not just the drink. Zeke started 18th, finished 12th. He's starting 9th. Where will he finish this time? He's known to move forward. What can he do?
Josh Heinze, 19th last time, finished 15th. Starts 10th, so he's a little bit further ahead of where he finished last time. Can he make any further moves into the points? Hopefully.
Mysterio 667, a bit of a struggle in qualifying. Started 2nd last time, starts 11th. He has it all to do and some more.
Bashi went backwards, started 12th, finished 18th, as we see an Aston Martin going off the track there. He starts 12th this time, where he started last time.
And MJQ, the McLaren driver, 13th behind his teammates.
Owen is vibing, Owen will be wanting to win, I'm pretty sure.
Maya, well, he's admired by many. What can he do in Australia? Curlin lined up 16th in the Aston Martin. He's new to the league. Let's see what he can do on his debut race. Liam Markup lines up 17th. He's got all the work to do, but what can he do? Well, we'll find out in 29 laps time, won't we? Here we go then.
We will.
Okay, we're waiting for the back of the grid just to catch up a little bit. There we go. Here we go then. The lights begin in Australia. We're down under this time. Where will we be next week? But it's lights out and we are underway in Australia. Racing has begun. XL Mert gets a good getaway from the line. The two Alpines side by side, but it's Nico who leads into turn 1 from Undertaker. There's action going towards the back of the grid. We already have a yellow flag and Alpha Tauri going slowly. The Williams XL Kangaskhan. He looks to the inside of the next corner. The Haas is going to give him a big squeeze. It's Mansu alongside. They touch. No one spins. Both through safety through the car park section. The Williams driver Kangaskhan P4 is another yellow flag. This is not over between Mansu 95 and XL Kangaskhan, Fozzy.
Marcus had issues, he's lost his front wing, he's going to need to come into the pits at the end of this lap. It was him and Bashi who have both had issues at the opening of this one. Up at the front, it's Merck that still leads, the top 4 as they were. Mansu makes up 1 position into P5.
Mysterio storming through the pack. P12 now. He's ahead of his teammate as well as Owen is vibing. A double overtake there. Brilliant stuff from the Aston Martin driver. What can he do now? He's got plenty more laps to show off his speed. Curlin starting on the medium tyres. He's got it all and he probably has the best strategy going here. All safely through turn 11 and 12, Fozzy.
Bash has got a penalty, might get a penalty. He's just gone into the back of Owen. He's vibing at turn 11, but both continue with no damage at the moment.
Yeah, Marcus is down in 17th. As you said, struggles early on. He's down 12 positions. That's a difficult opening lap for the Alfa Romeo driver. But coming across the line to begin lap 2 of 29, it is Mert ahead of Nico. And it's Undertaker who remains P3. It's an Alpine 2-3. Brilliant stuff. Kangaskhan, though, is charging and is charging for that podium position and ultimately a win. Mansu 95 up 1 position. And there we go. A 5-second penalty for Owen is vibing, speeding into the pit lane. It's not going well for the Haas driver.
I think Zick might have had a bit of an issue. Just got overtaken by Liam Markham on the exit of turn 2. He was going a bit slow when I cut to him. It doesn't look like he's got any major damage yet. Maybe he just went a little bit wide and hit a bit of the curb. But as we said earlier, top 4, as you were, it's Merck that leads. So Nico, Undertaker, Kangaskhan and Mansu. We have a yellow flag and it looks like Kirkland's out, Cameron.
Yeah, Kirkland, the Aston Martin driver, getting it all wrong there. We have a virtual safety car, I believe the first of this season here at Invictus Racing. We had a full safety car last time. Will this get stepped up? It's new in the game. Will we see the Aston Martin leading the race, but not the Aston Martin that started in the grid? We'll have to wait and see. It's still a virtual safety car. We've got the Haas driver of Owen. We're just going to see right on board, see if we can see the Aston Martin. It's all been cleared up ahead of him. So we look to be going under green flag conditions very shortly, Fozzy. But a good opening lap for Mert, still leading the race, and he won it last season. Will he do it again? Well, it's all pointing towards those positive signs for the Mercedes driver. But Nico, really good, strong racing already, as well as Undertaker. Will the Alpines work together, or will they trip over themselves and ultimately cost the team a really strong result here, as we still have a virtual safety car, a long period, but never mind, it's all over. We are green in Australia, and XL Mert didn't get the best of jumps. In fact, Nico got a very strong jump on the green flag restart, and Nico is now 6/10 behind. There's battling going on throughout the pack. P8 and P9 alongside.
Wheel to wheel. Yeah, and it's the Red Bull who's got the inside line as we go down towards turn 3. Is DeLonge going to make any contact? Well, the soft tyre might give him a bit of an advantage as we go through some of these corners, but it's Maya that comes out on top in that little battle there.
Yeah, Maya on the medium tyres, you'd think didn't have the grip advantage, but he certainly did there. He looked sensational around side by side with the Williams driver. Very strong moves for him. Are we all admiring Maya in the chat? I'm sure you certainly are. But Nico just around hovering that 6/10 mark. This was similar last week in Brazil. This was a stale gap at the start, and then it all opened up midway through the race. Similar patterns could happen again. J. Cole, though, in the Ferrari is catching up to the other Ferrari-powered car of the Haas. No DRS was enabled, sorry, so he looks to potentially look to the inside, not close enough, nowhere near close enough on braking as we enter towards the latter stages of Sector 3. But Mansu, 95, really strong result. He's up a position from where he started. He started 6th, he's now in 5th. Strong points on potential here, Fozzy, and it's a 1:24.643. The XL Merc sets the fastest lap of the session. And here's a move from Jaco on Mansu, looks to the inside. It looks clear into turn 1. Oh, there's contact for the two cars. The Haas and the Ferrari collide, but they're both pointing the same direction of the exit of turn 1. But my oh my, that was close. No love lost between those, eh?
No, and it doesn't look like any of them have any damage, at least not that I can see on the front wing. Don't forget, this game you can get damage all over your car, so maybe there might be a bit of a performance drop somewhere around. It looks like we got a Mercedes having a bit of an issue as well. Zick has lost, he's lost, I think it was an end plate or something, but he's span around. Maybe he's caught a grass or curb on the exit of turn 2, but that's not the best. Former Mercedes driver down 5 places from where he started, and yes, he has lost his front left end plate. So is that going to impact his performance enough for him to come into the pits? Well, it is highly likely. I imagine you may need to box and sort that one out. But yeah, not the start that Mercedes driver would have been wanting. This is the start that the other Mercedes driver would have been wanted. Merck leads Nico by 7/10 as they come around to finish lap 4. The other Alpine of Undertaker looking to do some overtaking very, very soon. He's eyeing up his teammate, but it's about 1.8 seconds back, so quite a bit of work to do at the moment if he wants to get ahead and get a bit of DRS. Maya, though, as you said, he's done fantastic. He's made the most positions out of anybody. He's up 8 positions. It's Liam Markham who's second in that race. He's up 7 positions in the Alpha Tauri as we have a bit of a train going on for the final points positions at the moment. Liam Downer in P10 at the moment. He's got Mysterious not too far behind him, trying to utilise a bit of DRS. Unable to make anything happen this time around as all the cars made their way through the 1 and 2 complex. And as I said earlier, already onto another DRS straight, but he just seems a little bit too far back, does Mysterious, to make any move happen. There's almost contact between Liam and DeLonge as they make their way through turns 4. Liam just a little bit late on the brakes there. It looked like he was about to take out the Williams in front of him, but it all looks good at the moment. It's clean racing back at the back here. Bashi exits the pits, and it's Zick who's in the pits as well, going on to the soft tyres again and getting that wing change as he needed to earlier. Top 4 though in quite a nice position. DeLonge looked like he was about to get overtaken by Liam. Is he going to be able to defend his position even more after turn 12 as we head towards that 11-12 complex once more and the 3rd DRS straight of this lap? Everybody seems to be surviving them curbs quite nicely. Liam going a little bit exploring with the track.
Oh, spinner! It's XL Jaco caught up with Mansu once again. The Ferrari, both Ferrari powered cars, but Haas and Ferrari battling out, and Jaco has come worst off there. He's incredibly lucky to still have all 4 wheels on his car. That was a very high G impact, frankly, there, and we're very lucky that Jaco has managed to keep going on track, but that will, yes, be into the pits. Oh, and he spun, hit the Rolex sign on the entry to the pits. Those tyres will be like fire, and we do have a safety car on lap 5 of 29. So that lead that all the drivers have been trying to work out has just simply gone down the drain as we watch Jayco do about a 10-point turn to try and get that Ferrari into the pits. But that could be a retirement for the Scuderia Ferrari driver. But as you were saying earlier, that battle for the last points positions, Jos Heinze was actually battling with Meyer, made one slight mistake, and that sent him flying back essentially to the likes of Delange, Mastarius, MJQ, and right into the clutches of being overtaken, but managed to be the conductor of the train and not one of the carriages. But yes, it shows how slight little turns and overcorrections can cost you so much time around here. And we do have the Aston Martin safety car on track, ladies and gentlemen. Added in the new update that come out, I believe, on Monday. Hope you're all enjoying it, and certainly been enjoying lapping around Portugal. Very fun track, and it looks like we might be visiting Portugal later on in the season, but it just allows us all to calm ourselves down, recollect, recompose, especially the drivers. As Mert enters into the pits, Nico does not. He boxes opposite to Mert there. That could be crucial when it comes to the latter stages of this race. It looks to be a one-stop following what has happened in the past. So that there, Mert boxing, Kangakon boxing, Mansu 95 boxing, Undertaker going on to hard. It does look to be the hard tyre that is favourable here, as XL Mert though does go on to the medium, and you see there it's kind of a little bit of a mixture, hards, mediums and softs, but Nico takes track position over getting the free pit stop.
Yes, and that might just be crucial, as you say, as we go further into this Grand Prix. You join us on lap 7 of the Australian Grand Prix. It's round 2 of the IRL PC F1 League, sponsored by GT Omega and in partnership with gridfinds.com and Driver 61, where we have a mixture of tyres, as you say, Cameron, across the field. It's so far Nico, Liam and Zik who remain on the soft tyres, and then it's about an even split between the mediums and the hards. P2, 3 and 4 on the mediums, 3 behind that, all on the hards as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out at the safety car restart. Now, Cameron, I have a question for you. Do you know, if you were behind a safety car, what would your approach be depending on what tyre you're on? Do you need to work the car a little bit differently when you're on the hard tyres, as opposed to the mediums or the softs, or do you sort of do near enough the same thing?
Yeah, the soft tyre is just a lovely tyre to do those early laps on, really have all the grip, and means it doesn't take as long to warm up. As you're seeing Maya there having to do a bit of that weaving that we do see in Formula 1, just to get the tyre surface and carcass temperature into the regions that you like. They'll all be monitoring those tyre temperatures on the MFD in game. Obviously, we don't have engineers shouting at them, so they have to monitor the temperatures themselves. And yeah, the medium tyre is a nice middle ground, but I found from my experience anyway that it does take a lap or two in the F1 2021 game for the medium tyres to properly get their lovely grippy feel to them. It can feel like you're on ice slightly for the first lap or two, and even worse with the hards, it is just having 4 blocks of ice from the freezer on your F1 car. And yes, it's not a nice feeling, but we'll have to see now. Will it be medium versus hard right to the end? Which one's going to come out on top? The hard tyre will suffer compared to the medium tyre early on, but coming the dying stages of the race, will we end up seeing the hard tyres come out on top, or the mediums? Now, those going on to the mediums, I reckon they might be bagging on another safety car. In PSF1 we had multiple safety cars, and so it might just be a quick stint on the mediums, get that compulsory mandatory tyre change out the way for regulatory purposes, and then switch back onto the medium, or another set of mediums, or another set of soft tyres come the next safety car. As we know, safety cars cause more safety cars, don't they, very often in game, and especially in real life Formula 1. But yeah, it's interesting. We've seen quite a lot from the first couple laps, a lot of action, and it does look like Mert has the upper hand in the early stages of this race, Fozzy.
Yep, everyone in front of him has not boxed so far, so Nico, Maya and Coop all on 7-lap-old tyres, the tyres that they started the race on, I believe. Mert has boxed onto the mediums, 1 lap old. He's going to be in a prime position at the moment for this safety car restart, which might come at the end of his lap. Looking at the driver tracker, we've got a Hassan and AlphaTauri just catching up. They might be able to do it quick enough for the safety car to come in this lap, but, well, we should hope to get the announcement of that if it is to happen in the next few corners. And it will be Nico that leads on the soft tyres. Will that give him the advantage on the restart? Can you say how safety cars can cause safety cars? It's going to be a big, long and very fast run down into turn 1, and we've already seen a few people throughout qualifying and this race have a few issues there. So when you're going wheel to wheel and you've got everybody around you, well, we know in the real world what chicanes can do when you're going wheel to wheel, and it looks like the safety car might be staying out for just one more lap, as we have Owen in the Haas just slowly catching up. He's a couple of corners behind the rest of the train, and he's on 2-lap old hards, so you might find it a little bit difficult to fight through the field on the hard compounds, especially with those in front of him having tyre life of about the same age, but slightly better compounds. So he's got a medium and a soft in front of him, both 2 laps old, as are his hards as well. So yeah, one more lap to go with safety car, I imagine, and Cameron, I think, is all about to kick off once more.
Yeah, it's a bit of a calm tranquility at the moment, the calm before the storm once again, and I reckon, yeah, as you said, the storm is going to kick off in approximately under a minute's time around here. It's, yeah, what a track though, what a lovely place to be. Obviously we're not visiting Melbourne, Australia in real life this year, I believe, so we didn't visit last year, and obviously we had an Australian winner as the latest F1 Grand Prix winner, so it's nice to be back here, at least virtually, and let's hope we'll be back in real life soon, to say the least, because it is a lovely track, especially to start the season with. But Nico, obviously staying out on those 8-lap old softs. Now, I know you do save a lot of the tyre wear under safety car, but I do think he shot himself in the foot a little bit there, because it's going to be not very long until the mediums, such as XL Mert, he's poured a wonder here, take the free pit stop, and hope they can get through, but that's going to be the hope here, isn't it? He's got MJQ, Maya, Nico ahead. They are on older tyres, as the mediums 8 laps as well as the softs. The mediums will be in a better nick, better condition than the soft tyres, but it's still going to take a little bit of effort to get around them, and is your confirmation from race control, safety car is in this lap. So thank you very much, Aston Martin Cognizant safety car. It's nice seeing you. We might see you very shortly as the lights go out, and Bert Maylander heads to the pits for a cup of tea.
Yes, I don't blame him. Nice cup of tea to watch the action all unfold. We can see the drivers making a few more increases to their tyre temperature, left and right, getting the tyres up into that optimum window. It's going to be Nico that leads on 8-lap old softs, being chased down by drivers on mediums, so he might get that jump to begin with. But as you said, softs, well, we have a 5-second penalty for Marcus as well, who's had a bit of a bump, it seems, with somebody back in the field. Yes, here we go. We're about to get underway in Melbourne. It's the safety car restart led by Nico in the Alpine. He's leaving it as late as he can. It's a very long straight down here. He doesn't have to go until he's ready. Yes, look at that. He's weaving and weaving, and he's gone. It's lights out, and away we go, times 2. It's Nico that leads from Myra and MJQ then as we head down towards turn 1. It's Nico on the soft tyres. How's that going to help him? Well, he manages to get through quite nicely. Myers not too far behind him, though. Remember, no DRS for the first 2 laps, but there is slipstream, and it looks like a bit of an issue back further in the field.
Oh,
Sam McLeod's gone round.
Yeah, MJQ is around, and so is Marcus.
Oh, the leaders collide! The leaders collide. Nico's out of the race, and it's Maya who leads on the medium compounds. It was just like we saw in Silverstone. It was a front left to rear right contact. Undertaker doing the overtake to go for the lead now. Oh, and Maya's dropping further back. Has he got a problem? Has he got damage? It's Kangakan for second. Undertaker the lead at the moment, but the big news here, Nico out of this race after leading that safety car restart. Cameron.
Yeah, that was, wow, phenomenal to see the 2 cars come together. Undertaker, as you say, leading the fight here for Alpine, with Kangakan in the Williams behind, and AlphaTauri, and Mert is struggling here, isn't he? He is certainly on the back foot come this race start. Also taking a bit more of the corner here. He needs to get this position on Mansu very quickly now. Mansu's going to hold him up on that hard tyre compound. What's that going to mean for Nico, though, in the later look of the championship? Each race matters here in 15 rounds, but it's certainly this race he is out of it purely through a collision by looks. It is a shame to see drivers come together. Let's hope it doesn't happen all too often. Maya now, though, he is going to box from that collision from the medium tyres. It's not been a great race for him, unfortunately, and that sees him most likely out of contention unless we get another safety car. I am surprised that did not result in a safety car there for that collision. 2 cars out, but here we go. Liam Marker, the 88 car. Yes, the
Oh, down
88
the
car
inside goes
around the
Liam.
outside now. The hard
This
tyre
is
versus the soft. The hard tyre doesn't have the grip advantage that the soft tyre has. 88, how about P2 on track? 1.6 seconds from Undertaker. Will he be able to catch up in time in this race? Kangaskhan, he finished third last time in Australia. He's set to finish third this time, but who knows? We've seen driver under green flag conditions from the safety car restart, and there's plenty more laps to go, Fozzy.
Yeah, that was a nice move, like you say, from driver number 88 of Liam there. Don't forget, he has got a time penalty of 8 seconds. That's quite a significant time penalty. How's that going to play as we get further into this race? It's Undertaker, though, who leads by 1.3 seconds. Out of DRS range of the AlphaTauri driver. Undertaker might be quite happy with that position he's in. Someone who's not too happy, Jos Heinze, he's just received another a singular 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. That would be track limits. He finds himself down in P13. His teammate, MJ Coupe, in P15. So not the best for the McLaren drivers, unfortunately. Cameron, what have you got your eyes on? Is
Here is feeling the pressure. He's trying to gain no matter where he is on track. To Mansu, lay on the brakes, suffered a lockup, managed to keep it going though. DRS is enabled this lap, obviously after the safety car. Oh, Merckx struggling there, almost a snap of oversteer. Nice and gentle on the throttle, saved the day, but he's gaining on Mansu. Not enough, nowhere near enough to make the move, but just those slight tenths advantage coming for the Mercedes driver, the W12 versus that Haas. Wow, in real life you'd see it. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jos Heinze's had an issue, and it is a safety car once again. He's had an issue just coming up to turn 15. I didn't quite catch what managed to happen there, but yeah, that was that was close from Axel Merckx, wasn't it? He nearly lost it, very, very nearly lost it on the exit of turn 2. Just caught a little bit too much curb, managed to keep it going in the right direction though. Well, we had one safety car restart earlier that provided quite a bit of drama. I think the game wants us to have a little bit more, Cameron. What do you think? It's looking good for Undertaker. He got quite a nice gap there. All that hard work's going to come undone as he has to lead it's a different Alpine leading a safety car restart this time around. But yeah, that was an eventful few laps, wasn't it?
Yeah, it feels bad for Nico, really. It was all there for him. I'm not too sure what happened. I didn't catch the collision, but it is unfortunate to see the two drivers come together in such a way where one comes off very much worse than the other. MJQ heads to the pits. This will be now another strategical call. We've had one safety car. A lot of the field didn't box. Axel Merckx is boxing again, ladies and gentlemen. He already boxed onto the mediums in the first safety car. What's he going to do now? Well, there's about 17 laps to go, sorry. So it is quite the distance to go, and it looks to be a set of hard tyres. I'm surprised he didn't have another set of mediums, yellows available for him, and it is a wing change for him. So definitely nursing that car around. They're very close on pit exit to the Alfa Romeo Marcus, who was in the wall come the exit of turn 2 earlier on, when MJQ, I believe, also spun. I'm not too sure what happened there either, but just got it wrong. Might have been that snap of oversteer that we saw that Merckx had, but unfortunately didn't rescue the car in the same way. But this race is going from, well, even crazier heights now, isn't it, Fozzy? We've got Undertaker leading, then Liam Markham is now leading on the soft tyre. He's second on the soft tyres. Now, he's had a very good race so far, and it's looking very positive for him, I would say, as, he's up 15 positions. He started 17th, and he's second on the road. Fozzy?
Yeah, second on the road, but don't forget that 8 second time penalty might send him tumbling down the field come the end of the race. J. Cole gets a 3 second penalty for multiple warnings. He had 10 seconds and has just served some of that, I think it was 5 seconds, in the pit lane, which is not too bad because he'll be able to catch up with the back of the field under this safety car scenario, so that should be okay. And it looks like, apart from the the McLaren of MJ Coupe, it looks like everybody's near enough caught up to the back of this train now, so we might have 1, maybe 2 more laps of safety car, and then we might get underway once more. But we're not even halfway through this race yet. We've got 29 laps and we're only 13 in, so all is still to play for. Anything can happen up at the top end of the field, and we've had so many pit stops yet, but strategy is all over the place. Strategy really playing quite a key role in this, and looks like some people are keen to get racing already as they come alongside their rivals in front of them. Don't worry, chaps, the safety car's not coming in yet. Merckx is boxing again. Did he accidentally go onto those hard tyres? I think he might have done. Is he going to go onto the mediums this time around? Well, luckily, he's got a few more laps of safety car that he might be able to sort that out with. And yes, he is going on to the mediums, so it looked to be an accidental box onto the hards for Merck there. He got that front wing last time, and I imagine he was wanting to go onto the mediums back then, but, well, he's in the pits, he's got his mediums on, and he's going to catch up to the back of the field, though. But look how far down he is. He's down in P13 now, Cameron. He might be able to overtake, but, well, if there's another safety car, he's going to keep staying at the back. It's going to be quite difficult for him.
Yeah, but we've seen people are making moves here. Liam Marco, obviously a lot coming in pit strategy there, but he's had to make the moves on track as well as in the pit. So it's not completely out of it for Excel Merckx. Now, realistically, he probably needs to finish ahead of Kangakon. That's probably where he's aiming for, because that seems to be his main battle in the championship. Although it is early on, we've seen they're very close on pace. And Nico being out of the race, who had a very good qualifying. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's quite difficult prospects now with not, well, half the race to go. But look what's happened so far in the first half. It could all happen again. He could be on top come the checkered flag. So you've got to keep positive here. You've got to, you know, maintain that you have a very good chance of winning, or at least getting good points. That's what matters early on, is being consistent, not just the standout performances, Fozzy. And now the standout performance, though, wow, there are a couple drivers in the prize for that, that's for sure. But there is a Mercedes of Zeeks P30. I think he just let Merck through. Is that there? That might have been slight, almost team orders. I'm not sure what's happening. Oh, Merck is around. He's gone around. No, he clipped. Zicht is around. Wow. Luckily, he's got time, but he will probably be behind MJ Koo here as he turns around the exit.
So hopefully we get a replay of that, because that was quite an interesting one. You don't always see that from Mercedes drivers under safety car. Luckily, like you say, but he's got a bit of time to catch up and get to the back of the field, only dropping essentially one position on the track, but it's not going to do his tyres any good. It's not really what he would have wanted. We'll see if he boxes, but I don't think he got any wing damage. I don't think he collided with the wall, so he should be okay. And yes, he does continue. Going into the pits, though, it's the Haas driver of Owen, who's on the soft tyres at the moment, and them tyres are only 4 laps old, so maybe he's got some wing damage that he needs to sort out. Not that I can see, and you know he's not getting a wing change, but he's going on to the medium tyres, so hopefully he's thinking that can take him to the end, which is quite a smart choice, because the soft tyres, especially around the Albert Park track, would not have made it to the end, I wouldn't have thought. So Owen comes out in P14 behind the Mercedes of Zick, who in turn is behind MJ Cube and Excel Merckx. 2 Mercedes falling out of the points at the moment. Up at the front of the field, though, is Undertaker, who leads from Liam, Mansu, Mustaris and Delange.
Yeah, lap 15 now of this Invictus Racing League PCF1 Season 13 Australian Grand Prix, sponsored by GTO Mega, brought to you in partnership with Gridfinder. Find your place on the grid, as well as in partnership with Driver 61. Check out all the links in the description below and learn how you can get involved with Invictus Racing League, whether as a driver or as a role similar to Fozzy and I as commentators. There are plenty of roles, and we would love for you to get involved here at Invictus Racing League. This is the place to be for F1 League racing, so get involved and join the family. But Undertaker now, he does have the soft runner of Liam Markham behind him, and safety car is in this lap, so bit of pressure here on the Alpine driver, that's for sure. I wouldn't like to be in his position. That's stressful, Fozzy.
Yep, he's just warming up his hard tyres just a little bit more. Let's see how he approaches this safety car restart, as opposed to his now DNF'd teammate Nico, who was one of the causes of this the carnage that ensued before this safety car. It wasn't the direct cause. It was Jos Heinze who caused this safety car after an issue at turn 15. We've lost from this race. Jos Heinze has mentioned Nico as well, who was leading at the end of the last safety car restart, and Curlin, who had a bit of an issue down at turn 2 by nibbing some of the curbs and a little bit of grass as well. But Cameron, do you want to take us through this safety car restart? It's about to get away. It's Undertaker that leads.
Undertaker, he's gone early as well. He's took a completely different strategy to last time with Nico, and Undertaker is away. 5/10 the difference between the top two. Weaving across the road, still manages to maintain P1 into turn 1 here of lap 16, but there's still action going on around the back of the grid. It looks like we're all through safely, though. That makes a change. We're on safety car restart, but it's still Undertaker who leads. But look, the Williams drivers all battling out for position. It's Excel Kangakon alongside Bashi, both on medium tyres. Kangakon going slightly wide. He's taken the 3-second time penalty as well, giving the position back. Bit of a strange warning there, looks to just be for track limits, but it's Kangakon in P7, Bashi in P6, but Kangakon is not giving up yet. It's going to be the run down into the next turn, a right turn. He's not going to go for the move here, not a sensible one anyway, and it is a Williams. It's Williams, AlphaTauri, Williams sandwich there as the AlphaTauri looks the inside. This could be a move here. The Williams looking to the outside. Will he get the job done? They're going wheel to wheel, and it's Kangakon who gets past Bashi on the exit of turn 12. Phenomenal move there. Absolutely phenomenal racing from the Williams driver, and very strong respect for Bashi there. Not willing to run off and go wide, end up in a wall, but it's Kangakon, P6, Fozzy.
I would love a replay of that. That was fantastic. Baggio looks like he's going to lose another position to the Ferrari, the 98 car, who just looks to get down on the inside of 15, but that turns to the outside of 16, and Baggio gets a much better run down towards turn 1. Undertaker, meanwhile, has got a time penalty. He's got a time penalty of 3 seconds. That shouldn't be a big issue, assuming he can get away from Mansu and all the drivers who are behind him. Liam, don't forget, has got an 8-second penalty. Cameron, something happened? What are you saying?
J. Cole, Bashi, Maya fighting it out. It's going to be almost 4 wide, 3 wide. There's a pinch there for the Mercedes driver. They still all make it through. It's J. Cole ahead of Bashi, Bashi and Maya. Bashi's had to look to take the slight left-hand line, had to slow down there in order not to end up in a wall. Very good safety driving from the AlphaTauri. Almost would have lost a wheel there. Manages to keep going though. Position is not worth a DNF in this race, but it's Maya and Mert battling it out. Not where they want to be battling out. They would love to be battling for the lead, but that has not happened this race. Instead it is battling for P8. It's still points, and points mean prizes, especially towards the end of the season. Will there be a move heading in to the next heavy braking zone? We go through turn 12, both cars using all the curb and a little bit more. Maya manages to keep in a straight line. No DRS, of course. The safety car was only in less than a couple laps ago, so it's still Excel Mert behind Maya, and there will be DRS this lap, I'd imagine, Fozzy, and it looks to be setting up for an almighty lead. But out front, Undertaker leading by 1.1 seconds. It's a phenomenal drive from the Alpine, and DRS is enabled now. There won't be any DRS just for this straight. All the next one is the same detection zone, I believe, but never mind, he does not need it. It's Mert ahead of Maya. Turn 1, take the inside line. Maya demoted to P9, Mert up to P8, Fozzy.
Yeah, Maya got a little bit of a better drive out of turn 2, but he hasn't been able to capitalise on the slipstream like his Mercedes rival did. But these are critical moves for this championship. People want to be making these moves as early as they can, and Mug nearly loses it as we go around turn 4. They just got a little bit too twitchy and too heavy on the power. He manages to keep it facing in the right direction, all parts attached to his car, but he's going to be cautious on those medium tyres. Those tyres for him at the moment are well, they're 4 laps old, so they're not too old. Top 4 drivers all on 11-lap old tyres. Liam Markham, 11-lap old softs, so we should hopefully see him coming into the pits anytime soon, although he's trying to play the long game, it seems, Cameron.
Yeah, playing the long game. J. Cole is gaining on Delange 93 here. The pace looking to be in the Ferrari's favour. He will have DRS, so will Mert. There's a bit of a tray setting up here, but XL J. Cole wants none of that. He wants P6. The Ferrari ahead of the Williams, but never mind. The Williams gets the better exit, and Mert is there as well. It's a 3-car battle for P7, P6, sorry, and it's the 98 Scuderia Ferrari ahead of the Williams, who is ahead of the Mercedes, but it's side by side out the final corner. The Mercedes gets the best exit. They both have DRS. They're both gunning for it into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top? You can't tell. The Williams looks to the inside. No answer there for the overtake question proposed, but it's the Ferrari of J. Cole ahead of Mert, ahead of Delange 93. A phenomenal battle from 3 brilliant drivers, and it is not over yet. Wheel to wheel, side by side, they make contact. The Ferrari runs slightly wide, both keep it on the track around the car park section. We've seen many cars parked up here today. We don't want to see any more. The Ferrari, though, still behind the Mercedes car. The Mercedes driver, XL Mert, a phenomenal race so far. He was leading. He won here last season. Jacob's around. He's out of the race. The 98 car sees no more action in Australia. Surely, yes, it's a safety car, Fozzy. Oh dear.
Wow, that was building up. It was going to happen. They were so close. Everybody was fighting for it. I know we're only 2 rounds in, but they're racing drivers. They want everything. He was pushing and pushing and pushing. And although he's on 6-lap old mediums, the curbs in this game kill. The curbs in this game bite. And into the barriers he went. Front wing off, wheel off, race over for the Ferrari driver. Wow, that was... I don't know what to say. I am literally lost for words. It was building and building, and it all boiled over just a little bit too much. Great news though for Merck, who knows that he's no longer got a Ferrari too far behind him. But yes, another safety car, Cameron. Well, Undertaker pits, as does Liam. It's all about to kick off again, I think, after this one for the 3rd time.
Oh, it's a roller coaster, isn't it? It's never ending. This is brilliant. We don't want it to end. This action is insane. Round 2, and it's like they're battling for the final championship, isn't it? I'm going to see if we got that replay from earlier. Now, excuse my shoddy camera work, chat, but I'm not too sure how well it's going to go. Let's have a look at this replay. And we see the 2 drivers coming together. This is back down turn 11 and 12. The Ferrari, yeah, as you just see there, Kangaskhan ahead of Bashi. And it is a bit cutting out, bad feed. Obviously the circuit statistics there, the static not doing very well. It's on the loop again. See the Ferrari looking to it, and there's the move there. Kangaskhan takes to the inside of the line, just gets ahead of Bashi. Brilliant racing from the 2 drivers there. Amazing stuff, Fozzy. And that's it, isn't it? The skill of these drivers today has been phenomenal. Yes, they've had collisions, but they are properly fighting for it, and they are also giving respect though. That's the interesting thing. You saw the move, for example, with Bashi there. He knew that he wasn't winning there, and instead of keeping his nose in and potentially risking a further incident, he backs out, but doesn't back out fully to cause another incident, but just enough to ensure that he gets through okay and can fight another day. Unfortunately, we've got 4 cars out of this race. We've got J. Cole, obviously phenomenal battle there, ended in disaster for the Ferrari driver. Jos Heinze out, DNF, as well as Nico and Kekurlin, but 13 drivers remain. Lap 20 of 29. Safety car here in Australia.
And it's about to get spicy as we see a lot of people coming in to box with the soft tyres. So it's full grip, full send for some of these drivers. Don't forget Mansu Mastaris up in the front on the hard tyres. They are both at 13 laps old. Behind them, 3 medium runners of Excel, Kangaskhan, Owen and Zik. They're on mediums. Everybody else behind them on softs. So it could all kick off, as we've said many times throughout the past few laps as we get going after safety car restart. I reckon we might have one more lap of safety car restart. We've still got Marcus in the Alfa Romeo and MJ Coupe in the McLaren still to catch up to the back of the field. Everybody else keeping temperatures in those tyres as we see Excel Kangaskhan go down into the pits. He's going to get rid of those medium tyres and I suspect join those on the softs and go for quite like I say, a full send final few laps to this one. So it could be quite exciting as we get underway for this one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Cameron, what are you thinking? Are you excited?
Oh, I'm more than excited, Fozzy. This is phenomenal. I am quite literally standing up. I'm leaning into the desk, just staring at the monitor. Fozzy's had... Wow, he's probably had some interesting views of me today. Just absolutely going for it, full send. I do apologise, but this is brilliant racing. We're still under safety car. We're waiting for, as you said, Marcus and MJ Coupe to catch up to the main pack, as well as, I believe, Kangaskhan. Now, most of the cars' drivers are on soft tyres. It is Mansu 95, Mystarius 667, and Owen is vibing, as well as Zeke on a mixture of hards and mediums. Undertaker, he drove a brilliant safety car restart there. You have to say he had a gap of around 1.9 seconds come the double yellows and eventually safety car. So I think he's still got a chance here of winning this race, especially with the penalties that, although Undertaker does have penalties, I'm not too sure why or how, but it's sometimes the result on track isn't the result that you see in the championship, such as last week we had a P2 and a P3 all mixed around because of stewards' investigation. So do ensure you check on IRL PCF1 standings on our website, link to the description, so you can find the up-to-date standings come the end of this race. But let's not matter about that for now. That's all paperwork and admin. Let's just focus on the here and now. We have 13 drivers, absolutely brilliant drivers who are, wow, just absolutely respectful to each other. And now it's going to be tested though. Safety car is in this lap, Fozzy. I did the last one. I think we both did the one before. How about you take it away this time?
We'll take it away as it's Mansu in the Haas that's going to be controlling this one. The first time we've had a car other than Alpine lead a safety car restart this season. Mysterious, well, he's looking keen to get going. He's already up the gearbox of Mansu, and it's Mansu's teammate Owen in P3 who leads on the medium tyres. The front two on the hards, the remaining two on the mediums, everyone else on the softs. It's about to kick off down in Melbourne. It's green flag. Here we go then. Mansu leads down into turn one. It's Mysterious that follows. Mansu takes a bit of curb and a time penalty to go with that as well. Gets a little bit out of shape, keeps going in the same direction. Maya and Delonge fighting further back in the field, and it looks like Undertaker's trying to get a move done on the Mercedes of Zick as we go down towards turn 3. Undertaker trying to go around the outside, does make that move stick. Undertaker does do the overtake. Mysterious falls behind Owen. It's a Haas 1-2 up at the front in Melbourne at the moment. Undertaker's on the gearbox of Mysterious now as we head down towards turn 6. He looks to make a move there. Not if the track isn't wide enough, doesn't manage to make it stick, but he does get a much better run out of turn.
Merckx is out. Merckx is out. Wow, I don't know what's happened there. Both Mercedes are in trouble, and Aston Martin just has been hit around there. Mysterious 667 was already up, and the Red Bull is off on the grass as well. What is going on? There's no safety car yet. It's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Merckx, who qualified on pole, is now out of this race. This has been a roller coaster of emotions. Wow, whoever's going to win today is surely well deserved of it. This track is testing all the cars. We're still green flag though, and they're still battling it out. They have no care in the world for the yellow flag that's just occurred. The Mercedes, the McLaren, and the Red Bull, Maya and MJQ battling out as Marcus gets very close on the brakes as we head on to lap 23 of 29.
Undertaker and Excel will go in side by side down here. This could be fruity if you get into turn 1. 2 fantastic drivers. Bargeboard to wheel, no punches though, down towards someone. We got Excel. Kangakan takes the lead. Undertaker takes the grass and nearly takes out the William of Delonge as well. I'm
not too sure what's happened there. Mysterious and the Alfa Romeo collide, I believe, on the exit of turn 3. That is Mysterious out. Both Aston Martins are out. And once again, our friend Bert Maylander, surely driver of the day at this point, is back out on track. Aston Martin really want to get their marketing budget put to use, don't they, this time? I think they're going to be leading this race more than anyone else. But it's now Owen is vibing, leading from Mansu 95. They both had troubles last week in Brazil. Managed to recover to P7 and P8, but now they're in a shot for the lead and a potential shot. Well, they are in the lead. They're in a shot for the win here. They could become victorious in Australia. What a change! But they do have penalties to account for. Obviously, we don't know whether these penalties are just provisional. They all have 3 seconds. The top 3, followed by Undertaker, also has 3 seconds. A safety car will bunch them all up. So Delage 93, theoretically, if he just keeps with 3 seconds of Owen is vibing, will win this race. If he keeps within all the time as he needs to there, he doesn't need to gun for all the overtakes. He just needs to keep it clean, Fozzy, and that could see Delage 93 win. I believe that'll be another win for the Williams team, as Kangakan won last time. That could be 2 wins in a row as as someone heads to pits, as Undertaker heading into the pits, Fozzy.
Yep, Undertaker, I imagine, wanting to get extra racy on some new sets of softs. Owen is vibing the leads at the moment. He's got the medium tyres there, 9 laps old. Behind him is teammate Mansu, 17-lap-old hards. And everybody else behind on the soft tyres. So it could get juicy. Theoretically, Owen and Mansu do not need to box because them tyres will make it to the end. We see Marcus leaving the session, so maybe he's had a bit of an issue down there. He's in the final points position at the moment in the Alfa Romeo, coming back out on some new soft tyres. But yeah, Haas 1-2. Who would have thought? Sorry, few audio issues there. That should be okay, but yeah. Haas.
We're going to need a safety car in commentary, please, at this rate,
aren't we? It's had a bit of something funny just happened there, a bit of an incident with the audio equipment, which caught me a little bit off guard, but it's fine because as a safety car we all need to let out a bit of laughter after what has been a pretty insane few laps. I honestly couldn't tell you who's going to win this. As you say, Delange's in a really good position by not having that time penalty. If he can stay within 3 seconds of the cars in front, then he could be in with a really good shot for this, assuming nobody gets any more penalties as well. Top 4 all on 3 penalties. Yeah, Owens are really working them tyres. We've still got a few more cars to catch up, so I would suspect we're going to get another lap at least of a safety car. Hopefully only just a 1, and then it will be a 3 or 4 lap sprint to the finish. Hopefully we don't finish under safety car as well. We've had a few safety cars this race so far. This is the Australian Grand Prix Round 2 of the Invictus Racing League PCF1 season, sponsored by GT Mega, brought to you in partnership by Driver61 and gridfinder.com. You join us with another safety car period. If you're watching and haven't already, then do introduce yourself in the live stream broadcast chat. And who have you got your money on? Who do you think is going to win at the moment? It's a Haas 1-2. Something that we wouldn't have expected. We wouldn't have expected a McLaren 1-2, but that happens. Anything can happen in the real world. Anything can happen in the virtual world as well, as we are on what I hope will be our final lap of full course yellow, final lap of safety car. It's the two Haas's in the lead.
Yep, and the two Haas's are on quite interesting tyre strategy here. They went long on the mediums and hard tyres, so the likes of those on the soft compounds, which pretty much is most of the field except for Marcus, as well as the two Haas's, they have a real chance of striking a blow early on the safety car restart, especially on grip levels, as long as they get the jump on Owen as well as Mansu. So this is going to be tough. Will Mansu and Owen play the team game here? Are we going to see Mansu play the number 2, or will they just go for it? It's early on in the season. Haas have a real chance here at taking the battle, taking the lead on the Constructors' Championship. A 1-2 would certainly see them in the lead, but as the safety car rounds towards turn 11 and 12, hasn't even been the most eventful corner of this race, you have to say. It seems to be the latter and early ends of the track that causing all the action, doesn't it, Fozzy? But this track has shown us why we love Australia, and look at those Haas's weaving with excitement, anticipation, and probably a few nerves as well, Fozzy.
I would imagine, as there is confirmation from Race Control that the safety car is in this lap, as the Haas nearly goes into the back of his teammate there. So it's the third constructor to lead a safety car restart. You said to me, Cameron, that I did the last one, so you can do this one as we get around towards the final few corners. But yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you who's going to win. This is going to be quite an eventful few laps. Don't go anywhere if you're thinking of switching off, because it's all about to kick off for the 4th time this race. It's Owen is vibing the lead from the Haas. Mansu behind him on hard tyres. Top 3 all on different compounds. Top 3 easily could change over the next few laps, Cameron.
Yeah, sit tight, put your seatbelts on. There's more kickoffs to the Euros 2020 here, and we're about to get underway once again. The 24 car rounding the final corner. When's he going to go? Is he going to go early? Is he going to go late? We've seen a mixture of safety car restart strategies, and we are still weaving, actually, bunching all the pack up. Look at them all. They're squabbling all over. This is causing all sorts of chaos towards the back, and he goes again. Lap 25 and 29. Safety car is out, and green flag racing is underway. Owen is vibing, leads into turn 1. Mansu takes to the grass. That's going to give Liam Markham the position. P2. Kangakon takes P3. He had a podium last time out. Mansu, though, battling with Maya here. He's dropped back suddenly. That hard tyre is really showing how bad it is compared to fresh softs, and he drops down the timing tower. Maya up into P4. Kangakon has a real shot at the podium.
Undertaker is, well, he had a terrible start to that safety car restart, similar to what we saw a few years ago in Formula 1, just a massive crash at the back. I don't think he expected everybody to go, and nobody seemed to go, and then he got tagged by, I think it possibly was a McLaren, and he span around and hit the pit wall. He is still going, but yeah, it wasn't the start that Undertaker would have wanted for that safety car restart. But Owing is vibing, Owing is leading.
Not for long, potentially. Liam Markham looks to move up the inside. He backs out. Owen was always going to take that line. He's lucky there wasn't contact, but Liam looking to take the lead here. Goes to the left, takes the outside line. Owen on the inside. There's a potential switchback. There is a switchback. The AlphaTauri against the Haas. AlphaTauri now leading on the timing tower. It's going to be close. Is Kangakon going to get the jump? Oh, there's contact. The Haas driver runs, takes the corner a little bit too sharply. Manages not to spin. Does create contact with the AlphaTauri and the Williams, but it's now Kangakon behind Liam Markin. Kangakon has a potential here of winning, but so does Meyer. The top 3 have penalties. Meyer does not. He is in potential for the win, but Liam Markin and Kangakon aren't even thinking about that. It seems to be now not taking penalties into account. They're battling wheel to wheel. Liam and Owen now battling it through. Kangakon leads this race on lap 27 of 29. Owen taking to the inside, suffering a little bit of corner speed there in order to protect his car from being hit hit, but Liam Markham up into P2. A remarkable race for Markham here, and it's not over yet. Owen vibing is starting to suffer on those videos. Oh, Kangakon's out! Kangakon is out of this race. He will not be able to win it now. This is absolutely insane. He's still going though. He's behind his Williams teammate. This race goes from chaos to even more chaos. You can't get any more chaotic than this, Fozzy.
You cannot. I think Owen is vibing, has been suffering on those medium tyres. Those around him on the soft tyres able to jump him at the start and get a few moves done. And talking of moves, here goes Maya on Owen. It's tight towards that wall there, but it looks like if Maya can brake just a little bit later, he'll be able to take the position. And he does almost wheel to wheel around that apex there. Owen is vibing, trying to stay in front. Oh, bit of front wing contact as well, but they all seem to be staying in the right direction. Don't forget here, he soon will have DRS to help him try and get back up in front. Don't forget, Maya does not have any penalties. That's the key thing here, so he looks to be secure in the position he's in at the moment. DRS is enabled for this lap. MJ Coop looking to make a move on Owen as well, as Owen nearly goes into Undertaker coming out the pits. But he doesn't do that, and they all keep going in the right direction. MJ Coop, though, has got that DRS. He's going to be trying to make a move on Owen here as we go down towards turn 3. Owen manages to stay ahead in the Haas at the moment, and I thought it was looking bad for the McLaren, so we have a yellow flag in sector 1 as someone had an issue. I didn't quite catch who that was.
Undertaker, I believe.
Where was I? Yeah, MJ Coop still behind Owen on those medium tyres. Owen's going to want to try and make this, Coop's going to want to try and make this move as Maya gets a penalty. Maya gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, here comes MJ Coop on Owen. Sorry, just to cut in. I know you're wanting to say something there, Cameron, but it looks like Coop might be trying to get a move on Owen, and he does. Coop gets the move on Owen. He gets a much better drive out of the 9 and 10 complex. Owen up into the podium positions. Coop up into the podium positions now, who does not have a time penalty. Owen, who went from leading this safety car restart, now drops out of the podium positions, and he's got his teammate for company not too far behind as well. We're coming on to the final lap of the Australian Grand Prix here after, I think, 4 safety cars and 4 hectic restarts. It all comes down to this, the final lap. Maya is behind Liam. Is he close enough to be able to get a move with DRS? Well, it's quite a long straight, and he gets the DRS as he comes out of turn 16 there, but he looks a little bit too far back to make anything come off this time around. Owen and Mansu still not too far behind, and they might be able to make a move, and it is Zick who's gone round. It is Zick who's gone round at turn 7 for the final points position. Zick in the Mercedes goes round and manages to keep going. MJ Coop gets a 3-second time penalty. So it's all kicking off. But look how close Maya is to Markham as they go through Sector 1 for the final time this race. Liam, you're not in a very safe position there because Maya's looking racy, and he will have DRS as we get out of turn 12. Cameron, it's not over yet, and we've only got half a lap to go.
It's not over yet, that is for certain. And you look at penalties all the way back to Delange. There's a massive gap. This is racing purely for the win now. There is no provisional winner here. At the moment, Liam Markham will take the checkered flag, but don't get over yourself just yet. Maya is looking for the final battle through turn 11 and through 12 onto the final DRS straight. The proper last overtaking opportunity. He gains in DRS. Delange does take another penalty. And it's the Honda Red Bull does not. Oh, he has a snap of oversteer. Manages to keep it going. Liam, we are almost there. Keep it going. Maya is chasing though in the wing mirror. You look behind me. All you see is that Red Bull. But Liam Markham, a standout performance. He started very low on the grid, and now he will finish first, taking the victory in Australia. Well done, Liam. Absolutely phenomenal drive. All the drivers here at PCF1, Fozzy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now rest. The race is over. That was an action-packed 29 laps, wasn't it? We said it could be interesting. We said it could be spicy. Well, I think we were quite high on the spice scale there. That was exciting from start to finish. And yeah, it does look like Zick has not had the best of races there in the Mercedes. Not great for Mercedes. I really would have thought they would have done quite well this time around. Obviously, Merckx, who started 4th last time, fell all the way down to 11th. And this time he's fallen much further than 11th. He's fallen to a DNF. So, yeah, it all kicked off. But at the end, it was Liam, Maya, MJ Coop, your top 3 provisionally. Penalties may be appealed, and maybe changes to that over the coming days. Don't forget, follow Invictus Racing League. You can find all our social medias and the website down in the description below. But congratulations, Liam. You're in the broadcast chat there. A win for you. Fantastic work. That was an amazing race, Cameron.
Yeah, Liam up 16 positions from where he started. He's doing a Checo Perez there from last to first. That is how you do it in style. AlphaTauri take the win. A hard-fought battle, though. It was never easy here in Australia. It never is. That was a phenomenal bit of racing we've seen. And if you like what you see, do subscribe, like, and share, because wow, we're just loving this, aren't we? But we will now get to the podium celebrations. Liam Markham, enjoy the not champagne. Enjoy the Ferrari. I'm sure you will. And, of course, the absolute tune that is the podium music. Maya didn't crash, that's true. And it's such a tough race as well. That's half the battle, isn't it, Fozzy? It's so tough around here. Look at that podium setup. That deserves to win on its own. There it is.
Yes, that is
royalty.
That is
absolute
brilliant.
royalty.
What a way to round off that race. And I think I'm going to need to lie down after that. British driver winning in Australia. That was, well, the temperature in here on my thermometer reads 27 degrees, but I think the temperature in your steward's room might be a little bit higher. I think some drivers might be wanting to say a few words and see what penalties can get appealed. But yes, it is Liam Markham for AlphaTauri that wins from 17th on the grid. Wow, I mean, we've got to give it to Maya as well. 15th on the grid, 13th and 14th for Cooper and Owen. Those further down the grid actually finishing really high up in the race.
Yeah.
Top 4.
That's what pit stop strategies do, though, isn't it? It shakes up the grid every time, and we've seen it there. We couldn't pick a winner. At first it looked like, Mert or Kangaskhan or Nico would take it, and then it just changes from lap to lap, corner to corner, and that's why we love league racing. And it's been absolutely an experience, that's to say the least, here for this race. And thank you, Fozzy, for joining me in commentary. We got through it, and welcome, and thank you all in the chat who got through it. Here's your race classification, though. My MJQ, Owen is vibing, Mansu, Kangaskhan, Dalange, Bashi, Marcus, and the, I believe, Amir. No, it wasn't Amir, he's not here. But, yeah, that is your final classification. Do check out, though, the IRL website, because it might not all be over. As Fozzy hinted to earlier, the stewards room is going to be a bit busy, so we'll stay out of that one. But we'll let you find the results on the site. But do stay tuned. Thank you, though, for witnessing alongside Fozzy and I that Australian Grand Prix via Invictus Racing League, sponsored by GT Omega and brought to you in partnership with gridfinder.com. Find your place on the grid, as well as Driver 61. If you want some driver training to be able to take on races like this, then check the description below for more information. But Fozzy, that's round 2 done, and it's absolutely flown by. I believe we're off somewhere, off to a slightly different track next week, as we are this entire calendar. We're off to France.
Off to France, indeed, in just 1 week's time. And if that race was anything to go by, well, I'll be strapping down, putting the seatbelts on, because it's going to be an exciting one in France, I think, Cameron.
Yep, France, brilliant track. We've seen drama in there in real life with such a heated season that we're having, and I'm sure we'll see drama in Invictus Racing League. Who knows, you might get another shock winner. But, yeah, thank you for joining. It has been an enjoyable it's been, wow, just absolutely fun. I'm lost for words, actually. I'm just tripping over myself more than the cars were tripping over the curves and other cars. But join us next week for round 3 in France. The 22nd of September. We'll be here from 8 PM. I hope you can join us. But from Fozzy and I, we'll see you next time. Enjoy.